everyone. Welcome back once again to the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision in HO Scale. My name is Daryl Cruz, owner and builder of the layout, and your host for episode 10 of season 2023. As you can see, we did get some work done since last time. A lot of snow has fallen. Actually, it's plaster. But I was able to get quite a bit of plaster gauze put on. Not the entire portion that I wanted to get done, but I did get most of it on. And so it's one step closer to having this area scenic. Definitely is a long process. Now this is what it looked like last week. A shiny brown landscape. I had put the rosin paper on a web of cardboard about 8 inches apart, and then I painted the rosin paper with white glue, and then was hoping that would stiffen it up and seal up the seams and so forth, but as you can see, that did not really happen very well. This is again what it looked like last week. I don't think if I had painted this and put scenic material on top of there, if it would have been able to work out to where it looked decent. So I went ahead and began to put some plaster gauze on. So far I've gone through almost 20 pounds of plaster gauze. A little bit of a seam there still. So here I used what was left of my 5-pound roll of plaster gauze and did just this little portion here. I kind of wish I had gotten the seams down a little bit better between each piece of plaster gauze, but I'm not too worried about it. After I get all this done, in fact, sometime this week, I believe, I'm going to be applying a thin coat of regular plaster over on top of this. So once I got that little bit done, then I went ahead and went down the line. So I got all of the paper that was painted with white glue. I got it completely covered with plaster gauze. I get mine from Amazon. There's a lot of different places that you can get plaster gauze from on Amazon. I just kind of look for whichever one gives me the most coverage per dollar, basically. The one that I used was big rolls, 5-pound rolls, 2 big 5-pound rolls that I used, but tried to order it again, and it was almost twice as expensive as when I ordered it the first time. So I kind of researched and found another supplier. Now, this actually came in smaller rolls, so I got like 24 rolls of 6-inch wide plaster gauze, but it was a lot cheaper than what the new price was for the big 5-pound roll that was 12 inches wide and like 50 feet long. Alright, so this is kind of how it all looks. I did kind of mess up the backdrop here a little bit. I had somebody call me out on my backdrop saying that can't believe you it's the wrong shade and it's got all kinds of problems with it, and was really giving me a hard time about everything. I was kind of I banned him. I didn't even want to deal with it. I responded to him and was kind of waiting for him to respond back. He never did, so I just banned him. And anyway, he was fussing about the backdrop, and there was something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. But he said I should look at Lance Meinheim's layout and Pelle Solberg's layout, and they both have great layouts. I mean, they're awesome, but they're like nothing compared to what I'm doing. They're like 400 square feet of layout, and it's all flat. They don't have any mountains or anything. And just no comparison to how I'm trying to get this done. But anyway, enough about that. As you can see, it was quite a mess. A lot of water. A lot of that water is because I dumped over my little pail of water. But anyway, so I got this far. Did not get to this area here. I didn't get this part done because I still need to get the bridges figured out and the piers. A little bit on that, and just a bit. As you know, as you can see, I do have concrete ties there, which are actually on the prototype concrete. Here, by the way, is I actually am able to wipe off a lot of the mess. This is the same site as before, and I am going to go back. People have been fussing about the backdrop. I mean, it's just there to be there right now. That's not going to be the finished product. People, please take a chill pill on the backdrop. I am going to put some pictures back there and going to repaint it and everything. So anyway, here's a 50-foot micro-engineering ballast deck bridges that I'm going to be using, and I kind of laid it out. This is going to be the middle pier, and then you have the abutment's going to be here. So I'm going to cut it right there at the end there, the wood, and then cut the wood here. So I'm going to do that this week, and then this pier here, once I cut the wood, the pier is going to be out here. So I'm going to put that together and attach it to the wood once I cut it. I kind of just let it hang there, and then have the plaster kind of go up to it. Figure that out. And then there's going to be another pier back, or abutment I should say, right here. And then I'm going to have a little piece of concrete in between the tunnel portal there and that abutment, which is almost exactly like the prototype. So I think that's going to work out really well. So you can kind of look at last week's. I had a picture of that, and you can kind of see how it will hopefully look like the prototype. This is where the girders are going to go. Then there's going to be a pier here. I ordered some girders, some box girders from Central Valley. Actually got it from Hobby or some. I can't remember what the name of the shop was that I got it from, but it's Central Valley box girders. So I'm going to use those to scratch build the middle pier, and then I do have the other two piers on hand, and I have the abutments on hand. So hopefully going to be able to get a lot of that in. Here you can see my backdrop. They've been fussing about the fascia too. Yeah, the fascia, it does look bad, but it's not how it's going to look when it's all done. Anyway, I am going to fix this up a little bit too. I'm going to put some plaster in there, like plaster here, kind of smooth that out, and then I'm going to put some rock work. So smooth it out here, and then I'm going to put some, so that you can't see that little ridge there, and then I'm going to put some rock work in there. So it kind of looks like they have a retaining wall with the culvert there. There's going to be another culvert on the fill on the upper level track. So the main thing was trying to get those two slopes the same. And I think it definitely, with the culvert being there, that raised it up so that the two slopes are more identical. So I'm going to try and put a thin coat. My goal this week is to try and put a thin coat on all this, and then build the bridges for Curvo. I did spend some time flushing out the seams. I had them overlapping, and I basically, when I put the fascia on while I was building the benchwork, I didn't bother to put the seams in there. I just kind of overlapped them and kept them that way. And I don't know how many times people say that, hey, the fascia shouldn't overlap like that. And so anyway, I'm going to use some wood putty, some wood filler, and fill in the holes and fill in the crack here, sand it down nice and smooth, and so it's going to be a nice finish. And I just kind of want people to understand that this is a ongoing process, and this is a huge undertaking. Here's some that I still need to do. See how it's overlapped? Some people have a conniption fit over that. Actually, I don't really think it looks that bad as is, but I probably will. It doesn't take long to cut it and then flush it out and reattach. I have a bunch of them I have to do all the way through here. Again, when I put the fascia on, I was just trying to get the bench work moving, you know, and I didn't really worry about it too much. And again, people need to realize that this is an ongoing process. I mean, nothing, absolutely zero on the layout is to the finished stage. So, I mean, yeah, the backdrop needs work. You know, I basically just put it there. And I'm not sure people realize this, but I didn't even paint that. I did, but a long time ago. This is the backdrop. I just am reusing it from the Geneva sub. It's basically vinyl sheet. And so I basically just rolled up all the vinyl sheets from the Geneva sub, and I kind of reused them here with the idea that I would then, once I get to various stages of construction, I would, you know, put in the pictures for all these valleys there. Like if you can see the valley there on the backdrop, definitely will put a picture in there. And I am going to repaint the backdrop, at least touch it up. It looks, I should say also, it for some reason on my camera, it comes out a deeper blue on camera than it is in person. So it's the color of the backdrop is lighter, a much lighter blue. So anyway, I think what I am going to do, as we see some trains traveling through the snow-covered ridge here, what I am going to do is for this peninsula, I'm just going to keep working on this peninsula. And my goal is to get the entire peninsula done to, you know, basically towards 100% done. And that means not just the plaster shell and paint and ground foam and everything, but ballasting the tracks, static grass. The part that I did last February with Mark Bridgerwater, that's been, you know, kind of looks the most finished of the layout. Even that portion is not anywhere near being done. I still need to add a lot of static grass, not to mention roads. And there's some structures that are going to go on there. I want to do some scale, HO scale trees and so forth. I just threw in some old N scale trees I had left over from the Geneva sub, so I'm going to replace those. So my goal is to get the entire peninsula here to a finished state, and then people can, if they want to still harp about things, that's fine with me, I guess. But again, before you start, you know, criticizing this or that, just keep in mind that this is a ongoing process. This is going to be really cool here. Definitely looking forward to this part here. Again, I'm hoping this week to get the bridge in there. I probably won't get the middle pier built, but I hopefully get the two abutments and the two concrete piers in to where I can start putting in plaster. And then I'll probably build scratch build the middle pier with box girders. As you see, I did kind of clean up here a little bit. I'll do that once I get all the scenery shell in. All right, let's watch a couple more trains going through this area. I am also going to be putting some rock work at different places. Like this little ridge, this little cut here, wherever the plaster is kind of close to being vertical, I'm going to put some rock work. So where the original main line that is right now holding the westbound train, right along there's going to be rock work. Some red rust-colored rock work in through there. And then there's a couple other areas that I'm going to be adding some rock work. Again, wherever there's a vertical or close to vertical slope, I'm going to use a rock mold and put in some rock work. It's going to be a picture right in that little valley there too. That's a really cool scene too. I really like this whole. I really like how this whole peninsula is turning out. This is exactly how I kind of envisioned it was going to look. Many thanks to Mark Bridgewater and Scott Chatfield for helping out. There's going to be a lot of rock work here above the tunnel portal there. It's vertical. I was going to put some rock work there. And then on the little area there that I said that I was going to push it down, I kind of left it as is. So I'm going to be putting some rock work along there also. This definitely is going to be cool. So that's where we are as of March 3rd, 2023. One thing that was really interesting, by the way, I saw this On This Day feature that my OneDrive has. It kind of shows what pictures I took a year ago or a number of years ago. So anyway, last year on this day, about this time, I was actually building the benchwork for the end of the peninsula here. And now we're to this point. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate all your support. Take care, everybody.